Howdy, everyone. This is Sharon for another Conscious Sharing moment. And so, again, for these Conscious Sharing moments, they are like aha moments, insights, revelations, observations, introspections, and just pretty much things that I've come to realizations for myself and in conversations that I've had with other people. And, again, when it comes to observations, things that I've noticed, and I consider these to be life hacks because they have really helped me when I've come to the realization when it comes to some of these things of what we call life. And so today, and oh yeah, and also remember to like and share, and also let me know where you're listening from, whether you're live or you're on the replay. And definitely let me know what you think about, or what your comments are, should I say, about the topic of the day. And so for this conscious sharing moment, what we will talk about is taking time. Take time. It's like, take time for what? Take time for whom? I'm going to say take time for people, places, and things. But the first person that you take time for is yourself. However, that is for you, make sure you take time for yourself on a daily basis. And again, you can use what I call my signature self-care practice, which is the 555 wellness boosters, just like 5 steps for 5 minutes for 5 days. Then you start back over. And you can choose which day you start over. But anyway, it's just pretty much, where you're breathing and movement, it's kind of like be yourself, take notice, and just some wonderful things about you. And, if you don't have 5 minutes, do it for 5 seconds or for the count of five. It's more about the focus of you, but definitely, throughout the day, especially at the beginning of the day, it really helps settle you within yourself, for yourself, through yourself. And so take time for you in every moment that you can, pause, when there are agreements, take time to settle into that, the feeling of agreements. When things are not in agreement, take time for that and settle into that. Whatever it may be, just take time for you. Make sure you're the first person that you're taking time for. Okay, so people, places. Take time to place yourself somewhere that is pleasing for you, and take time of placing yourself that is not pleasing or uncomfortable. And the reason that I say that is because the more that we practice, that we put ourselves in uncomfortable, non-pleasing situations, conversations, and all of that sort, it really helps build resilience. It really helps us to face adversity, me included. And so allow yourself to be in places, put yourself first into that. It's almost like you're introducing yourself to adversity. And one way of doing that, and I've mentioned this one time before that I've discovered this, is that when it comes to strength training, and you can get strength training through personal training or with yoga. They are gentle ways. And for some people, like, oh no, this is not gentle. It is a very gentle way of, again, building resilience and facing adversity, to overcome adversity. Definitely is. Okay. And the other thing is people, places, and things. Uh, Allow yourself to pretty much on the same thing. Enjoy things and not to enjoy things, because the more that we're able to do that, when life brings things down, when those storms come, not saying it's going to be easy. What you're really doing is that you're training your nervous system. You've heard me talk before about the nervous system, about the body. This is why I'm so much of a embodiment practice person. It's like, do something with your body. It's about settling the body, because when it comes to things of life, they either activate the nervous system in some form or fashion. In some form or fashion, it activates it. I'll put it like that. So it's about it's about overriding your own nervous system, retraining it. And so this is where this is important. So take time for yourself. Take time, make yourself a priority. Put yourself in places that are comfortable and that isn't comfortable, because that really is, not only it helps with the nervous system, but even when it comes to how you think, even when it comes to your thoughts, because initially you want to run away, and it's almost like being on a deserted island or confined, and you really go through something, and it's almost like, if we don't go through something ourselves, meaning, when it comes to some type of activity such as yoga and personal training. I'm saying personal training, but strength training or some other activity. Again, life is going to put us through something. And life may put us through something despite that, but it just helps us to maneuver. Because I can say for myself, because it hadn't been until, I just say, later in life when I have experienced certain things and I'm like, oh, what is this? And I can really tell I was having a hard time. And even the way that I was reacting, it depends on who I was around, that they may see my true reaction or what comes out. But for the most part, it's kind of like, you know, it's like trying to hold something together. Initially, I didn't know what it was, but it was my body. My body was like, oh, what is this? Just trying to get out and go away. So, this is why it's so important to have a self care action strategies and to be intentional when it comes to facing our fear of eliminating um, limited beliefs, just constantly just having the best version of ourselves out there. And it doesn't always just come just because, like, hey, I'm a good person. I used to think that, hey, I'm a good person. Life is good. And then life is like, psych. So again, it really helps you to override your own nervous system, so that when those storms in life come, that you will be able to have more of a clearer mind, to be able to have discernment and not to react in things in such a emotional way. Because when we do, react in an emotional way, a lot of times we don't make good decisions. A lot of times you may say something or do something that, if you weren't emotional, you may not even do it. So again, put yourself first, place yourself, in situations where you can build your resilience and overcome adversity, and allow yourself to have first pick when it comes to the things in your life, the things that are pleasant and the things that are not so pleasant. But it's really important for us, and I'm beginning to see even more and more with certain things that I experience, in that, especially for individuals who have children, a lot of times we get into the feelings. We don't want nobody to feel bad. Even I just say, just when it comes to dealing with people, we don't want no one to feel bad. Those things will surpass. I mean, when it comes to emotion, it only lasts 90 seconds anyway. It's usually what happens through the body if it's not completely released. And then if we like stop it, and then also our thoughts about, the experience or the event or whatever it may be. Of course, I've always said that when it comes to um, abuse or assault, those are different because of the fact most individuals um, are best, I would say, other the guidance of a mental health professional or someone who has some specialized training. I'm going to put it like that because I really do believe in choice, and it may not always come from a mental health professional. Okay. And there's a lot of different, shall I say, modalities that have really helped people that may not have derived from, should I say, the mental health arena. So again, when it comes to yourself, take time for yourself. And then when it comes to yourself, when it comes to people, places, and time, people, places, and things, take time and just to breathe. Take time for some fresh air. Take time to sit in nature. That's something I hadn't always done in the past, especially in growing up. And even as an adult, I have done it some, but definitely that is one of those things I'm going to include more of because it's so important to be in, as I'm just going to say, in different elements. It really helps and do things that you may not normally do. You would be surprised of what you may experience. I'm just going to put it like that. You just may be surprised of what you may experience. Take time to try something new. Take, whether it's new food, new places, being around someone you may not normally be around with, to increase your diversity when it comes to other people. And that's something that I hadn't always done. It just depends on where you work, depends on where you live. And, sometimes it just may not be. So this is where we can, take the initiative of doing certain things. But the main thing is to be intentional about you. Allow yourself to be a priority. So prioritize yourself. Take time for yourself. And this is not in a sense to say, oh, to be happy. I'm kind of like, whatever that means. But it is to experience, to be in the here and now, to be in the moment. Because I'm gonna say this. I've said it one time before, is that when it comes to happiness, it fluctuates. You may not always be happy at every given time. And then not only that, you can be happy about one thing and sad about something else. So you know. But anyway, thank you for joining me for this conscious sharing moment. And remember to like and share and let me know I'm about to say what tips, what topics that you would like to hear. And remember these conscious sharing moments, they're spontaneous, 3 to 5 days out of the week, out of the weekday. 3 to 5 days, and every once in a while I may come on the weekend, but most of the time it's during the weekday. And they're just, life hacks because the more that we're able not only to reflect on things, but to really grow and develop and to do something different, because that's the only way we can really be our best selves and to live a fully lived life. And living a fully lived life is to have all of the emotions, everything that it encompasses. And so, again, thank you for listening.